Hi, my name is Joseph Seal. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts, and I'm the author of The 100-Year Wind 1 and The 100-Year Wind 2, Rise of the Antisha. So off of the success of my first book, I've officially sold over 150 copies and counting. So the series is about a shaman named Eris who curses the village of Dija with the 100-Year Wind. We follow the adventures of Eni, the main character of the first book, on his quest to end the wind once and for all. In the second book, we pick up 10 years after the end of the wind, so it turns out Eni was successful, and we follow Ariel on her journey to build a school and make up for all her father's sins, basically. So the Antisha is basically an anti-shaman, Antisha, put it together, that's what you got. It's basically a group who are out to end all shamans. It's led by Takara, a woman who was, I guess, traumatically scarred by a certain shaman, which is saying no names, Eris of course, and it's all about her rise to her power and what she's trying to do to stop Ariel's efforts to make shamans more respected on Earth now. So after I ended the first book on a cliffhanger, I automatically thought of ideas for the second book. I jumped around with a few, but I couldn't really decide on one, and a lot of drafts were done, but I just sat down and started writing it, and it started to come out more natural. And I was writing the second book as I was editing the first book, so I edited the first book to match stuff adding up to the second book. I started writing the second book in September of 2016, and I officially finished it in February 2018. I say the creative process is different with the first book versus the second book, because in the first book, I was basically making stuff up as I went. But the second book, I had to follow the rules of the universe I was creating in the first book as well. So it kind of made it more difficult, but it gave me more chances to expand and grow the 100-Year Wind universe. So in the beginning of the second book, we find ourselves splitting up Eni Jr. as he goes off to Ariel's shaman school. And at her school, he meets a young girl named Irina. She's a little bit older than him and she's smarter and wiser. Her name comes from my friend Brittany's middle name of Irene. Another new character who's new in the book, her name is May. She's a jewel-based shaman who uses jewels and gems as her source of magic. She's inspired off my friend Mimi. And another new character is a shaman named Elysia. She's based off my friend Alicia, who helped me write and develop the first book as well. And of course, the main villain, Takara, she comes from the name of technology and Kara, and she comes from the village of Tika, which is all about technology. So I had a book signing on March 10th, 2018 at the Blue Umbrella Bookstore in Westfield, Mass. It was a really great experience. It was nice seeing all these people come together who helped me create the story, people who read the story, just all come together to celebrate me releasing my first book in a real bookstore. I felt really accomplished, like all those nights staying up till 3 a.m. writing and editing all paid off when I saw everyone just like looking and just like really interested in the story. Over 50 people showed up and I found myself talking for like over an hour. Everyone was asking questions, they wanted to know more about it, and then the end came where I had to sign everyone's book, and like they were all very proud of me. The 100-Year Wind 1 and 2 will be available in the future at the Blue Umbrella Bookstore, and it's also available on Amazon.com or the 100yearwind.wordpress.com or the 100yearwind2.wordpress.com. And I also hope to have my second book signing of the 100-Year Wind 2, Rising Antisha, at the Blue Umbrella Bookstore as well. The creative process for creating characters or names of villages for the books are very interesting. I draw inspiration from things around me or like people around me or just something that I could like see on like TV or something. Just I use all those names and create something together. For example, the villages from the first book were based off of my parents and my middle names, and villages in the second book, they're more based off of just nicknames I used to go by, such as the village of Theseus, which comes from the nickname of Joe the CEO. I find every character unique in the 100-Year Wind, and I love creating them, especially drawing them as well. So the thing I like about creating the story is that I like telling a story that's never been told before. So thinking about cliches that you see on TV or in movies, but just like getting rid of them and just coming up with more original ideas. That's something I pride myself in all my stories. I also heavily use drawing when it comes to my stories as well. Like all of my characters started from a sketch, or all of the story ideas came from just like a little small comic, more like a guideline of how I would progress through the story. And in the end, when it all comes together, when all the pictures and paragraphs add up together, it creates the perfect story. So in my story, shamans are basically superheroes that have certain superpowers, but their powers come from magic. So we have shamans who can control ice, shamans who can control electricity, shamans like Ares and Ariel who can control the wind and lightning and stuff like that. Then you have shamans who can control fire. You have shamans who can heal people. You have shamans who can use telekinesis. And you have shamans who can speak and control animals. Currently, I'm developing a book number 2.5 is what I call it. It's a series of short stories just focusing on small characters from throughout the first, second book, and the first book, leading into potentially a third book. I want readers to take away that there is strength and unity amongst your friends when it comes to dealing with any type of problems in your life. You can find both books on Amazon, or you can go to the100yearwin.wordpress.com, or go to the100yearwin2.wordpress.com to find the second book and the first book. I really appreciate and would like to thank everyone who purchased my book, the first book, the second book, anyone who's thought about downloading it, anyone who has it in their cart. Just like, thank you for showing me that my hard work will all pay off. And hopefully you enjoy the story as much as I liked writing it for you.